Hello everyone, it's DJV, and today I will show you something pretty easy. It's called how I set the mood for a track. For example, I have this pretty easy melody right now, which goes something like this. So, if you listen to the melody, it's pretty easy to understand how it goes. It's a pretty straightforward melody, but the thing is, this is a pretty generic melody and it fits kind of many different styles. And what I wanted to show you today is how I attack, for example, the genre of a track. For example, if I wanted to make a bounce track, like an old school Melbourne track, I would need a bass which goes in the offbeat, somewhat like this. It's a complicated bass for Melbourne. Melbourne usually relies on hitting the same key with the bass, but this is very common use in some Melbourne tracks. So the bass goes somewhat like this. If I wanted to do Melbourne. It's a pretty heavy bass, like you can hear, but it would like blend into the track better with the kick drums and different elements. For example, like this. So now comes how do I actually attack something like the genre of the track. How I do this is a Melbourne track. Melbourne lives off the 4 of the floor beat, maybe some 8th in between. So what I will do is make a drum kit which relies on the ones, and this is pretty easy achieved. Actually, now that I'm with a drum kit like this. Actually, now that I look at this, you could actually put a ride on each initial kick hit, because that would emphasize the first hits more and make the drum rack sound a bit more alive. And then we put some stabs in, because this is typical Melbourne fashion. What do I mean now when I mean setting the mood for the track? Like, for example, if I just cancel the bass and put on like a more trappier kind of progression like this, it sounds completely different. And if I go a step further and take some typical future bounce progression and add a future bounce bass, it sounds again completely different. You hear like everything is kind of similar in each kind of take, but it's at the same time it sounds completely different. Like this is really swingy. This is pretty heavy. And like this is really bouncy. What I mean by that is that setting the mood is actually a kind of easy thing you can do and can do right in your track, and it's an important part of music production about setting the mood, because like this track has 3 different ways of sounding at the same time without sounding very different in the use of instruments. Like if I wanted to make a typical bounce track, I could just go like this. If I wanted to make something trappier, like Trap Nation style, it could go something like this, but it's more festival trap, it's not your classical trap. This is also pretty useful for a bridge, and if I go my typical style, which is Future Bounce, I have this too. But you see the emphasis where it lays in each kind of genre. For example, for Future Bounce, it's the bass. The bass is the most unique thing, like... Since the trap has no trap actually in it, it's mostly the drums which live from it. These are the most unique in the trap part, and if you go for Melbourne, it's like either it's the bass because it really stands out. I could make it more bassy too, because this is really, really heavy into the mids. I could put a sub below that though. But here the instruments and, for example, the stabs make the mood of the track. And these are things you should know. Like, it's not about what you use, it's more about what you emphasize to create a different genre or something in setting mood for a track. And I think that's quite important. So today, like I said, it's a quick one. I'm sorry for any background noise I have today. The kids of my little brother came over, so I can't really do anything about it, but I hope I could help you understand what I mean when I'm saying I set the mood for a track in a specific way, and I hope you enjoy what I did.